Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the RGM Experience podcast with me, Carl Maloney, that guy from RGM, bothering you again for another week here at the Grassroots Music Industry podcast, delving into the grassroots and beyond and finding interesting people within it. And we've got Pierce today from The Claws. Hi, mate. You all right?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, mate. I know it's hectic at the minute. I know you've got a lot on. We're building up to the big album launch next week. How's it for you?
Mate, it's been a crazy couple of months
Yeah.
getting everything sorted
Yeah.
and ready to go. But like we're just buzzing now. We just want it to be out in the world, and we want people to
Yeah.
hear it because like we feel like we've been sitting on it for so long now. Yeah, it's gonna feel good when it comes out next Friday.
I can imagine, mate. I can imagine, mate. Well, I do want to delve into the process of building up to your debut album launch and what goes into it and all the stresses and all that kind of stuff. Because I can imagine there's a lot of pressure on you at the minute just for it to proper get received.
Yeah, well, it's a debut album, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it's your chance to make your mark on the world, so to speak. So yeah, there's pressure on it, but do you know what will be, and it like
yeah,
we're kind of proud and so happy with the record that we made, and we believe in it fully, and it so we hope people feel the same about it, which we'll find out next Friday.
nice, nice. Well, we've got loads of questions coming up about the album in a bit, but I just want to rewind a little bit. The last time we had a chat was back in August 2024, I think, just from looking back on the old episodes. Episode 157 on the podcast, where we caught up with you, and you were just starting to, book the bigger venues on your tours were gradually getting bigger. You were spreading out more across the country. Looking back over the last couple of years, how has it been for you and the lads? Just growing this band and doing bigger and better things all the time. It feels like things are going well.
Yeah, it's been a proper ride for us.
Mm.
We started this band, informally when we were three of us, myself, Niall, and Johnny, when we were 12 in a practice room in school, one lunchtime. Later joined by Liam just after we left school, but still, then it wasn't a serious thing up until we turned around 18, 19. So over the last however many years, bringing it to life and watching it turn from this like stupid little casual thing like, into what it is today, and going and playing some of these venues to so many people is like something that like we'd have only dreamed about when we were kids, but never thought it'd turn into reality. So I guess next week is kind of D-Day, isn't it? And it's all of that,
Yeah.
all of that work since then, like just coming to a head. So it's special, but it's also daunting a little bit as
Yeah.
well.
Well, I had a special moment watching your band at Tramlines this year. Just to see you on the big tent, the big like secondary stage to the main one. Hopefully we'll see you on the main one next year.
Yeah.
I'll be flying the flag. But that tent was absolutely rammed. It was red hot and all. It was ridiculous in there. And the energy watching your band on that tramline stage this year was just like, it was a proud moment for me, just about knowing about you guys and seeing, the hard work that you've put in over the last few years, and just seeing moments like that. That must have, been special for you guys too. And all the other festivals you're doing too.
Yeah, I think that that particular weekend we did a truck festival and tramlines,
Yeah.
and it definitely, that tramlines one in particular, as you mentioned, felt quite special. It was almost like felt like a bit of a, I don't want to say turning point, because kind of we felt like that
Yeah.
for a little while now, but it felt like there was something in the air, that over the course of this band and like trying to bring it to life, like um over this summer we've never quite felt it like we have
Mm.
And highlight that was particularly that Tramlines gig. But
There was no way anybody else were getting in that tent. It was madness. It was fucking class. It was
I
just
know,
like, it was just so proud just to see what they were. It was like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. It was like, you're a proper band now. It's just like you're one of the big boys. You belong there, type thing. That's how it felt to me.
yeah, but that's kind of how it felt to us, and that's kind of that's where you know we've always kind of aspired to be,
Yeah.
and that's where we've always felt that we should be, or at least where we wanted to get
Yeah.
to. To be in the mixer in that and see that many people, wanting to come and go at it for us, and
Mm.
singing all the words back to the songs, and the way that all those tunes have taken shape from, little little projects down in the shed at the back of my garden there, or
Yeah.
like in one of the other lads' houses, to like, seeing people up on shoulders and belting the words back at like big festival stages. Yeah, it feels like it's happening at the right time, innit? And the album the album out next week is gonna, you know, take it to a new level.
Well, we on the last episode, we were having a little bit of a chat about Birmingham, and it was having its struggles at the time with the council and that kind of stuff. I was in Birmingham in the last month or so, and it was the first time I've ever been to Birmingham, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
I,
Yeah.
I went with work, and we had a bit of a social night out and that kind of stuff. And I really, really enjoyed Birmingham. I don't know what I were expecting. I know a lot of people from Birmingham, but I really enjoyed the place. It's got a nice. It felt like it had a really nice buzz around the city centre, and it felt like there was a lot going on. It just felt like, when you see all the news about the council struggling and that kind of stuff, it just felt, what they on about? It seems all right. How is Birmingham for you at the minute? How are things being a Brummy lad?
I think like, yeah, we can be our, in Birmingham, we can be our own worst enemy sometimes, in
Yeah.
that we always kind of like shoot it down, or
Mm.
make it seem like lesser than it is, because in the reality, like, everyone lives here day to day, like everyone's so like doom and gloom all the time, like everyone falls into that trap. But like,
Yeah.
we've always been of the opinion, like, Brum's got its issues, and like, with the financial struggles, the cost of living, the council, and all that, has kind of put a really bad spin on the city as a whole, and it's kind of affected a lot of events that happen here, and there's a lot of places of real historic merit and culture that are just shutting down, because of lack of funding and lack of custom. So like, it is easy to get drawn into
Yeah.
the the negativity of it all, but we've always kind of been of the opinion that, like, what we've always, the first ever goal of our band was to conquer Birmingham and put Birmingham on the map, like, in the music industry, and that's still, right up there for us. Um, so so yeah, the best thing about Birmingham, never mind the fucking council,
Yeah.
or all the fucking roadworks or whatever. Sorry, I hope I'm allowed to swear on
Oh,
it.
it's fine. It's fine.
But the best thing about Brum is its people, and
Yeah.
you know people from every different walk of life and background, coming and living together. That is the thing that is at the beating heart of Birmingham. So yeah, that'll never change.
When things feel tight, when things feel difficult, music tends to thrive through those type of environments. Has it influenced any of your songwriting or anything like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think every song on this album is like, it's like a snapshot of. I think I said this a couple of times in interviews. It's like a snapshot of like a night, or a broken dream, or a heartbreak, and all those things have happened, in and because of the environment that we grew up in and around Birmingham, where we learnt our craft as musicians, and where we came of age. So this this album, it was put really well by Howard Gorman of Cinema Chords yesterday in a review. It's kind of the about the tension between um, like being a teenager and growing into adulthood, and the struggles you find there. But all of that, we experienced in and around our hometown. So the
Mm.
songs in this album are about us, but they're also about the people that kind of we live alongside. And you know, especially the track that closes the album, "Don't Blink," is a real kind of like homage to the people that kind of I grew up living around, like different things that I see in and around our hometown, and like the beauty in its kind of failure, if so to speak. So there's a lot to kind of unpack there.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. It sounds great. So I'm really fascinated in the process of building up to a band, but sorry, building up to a debut album. What's the plan been? When did it start? What stage are you? I know the album's out next week. Well, this is out Monday, so the album will be out now. There's a link in the description to order the album right and within this interview as well. So grab yourself one if you aren't already. I've got mine, and it's a beautiful vinyl on the way. Um, but what's the how long has the process been building up to release day for you as a band?
Oh, mate, well, technically, we've been building up to this release day next week for, as long as we've been in the band.
Yeah,
Like, if you wanted to date it back to three 12-year-old strangers, like finding guitars in a
yeah,
music room one lunchtime, like that's how long it's kind of
yeah.
felt for us. Like, but I mean, for our wider audience, like when we when we came out of lockdown, really, about a year after that, that period just after COVID and through COVID was quite tough for us,
Mm,
because we kind of had to, start again, really.
yeah.
And the 2022 in particular was quite a tough year. Like things kind of started to drop off a little bit, and we started getting worried that maybe this weren't meant for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we kind of sat down together, as a group and said, like, right, you know, as always, we haven't got any support, no label, no big management, but we just do everything like as we've always done it, just us four and our team, a small team that we've got behind us. And we said that, in the next 3 years, let's do two EPs and an album and see where that leaves us. So we started writing the album essentially in and around 2022, and bit by bit, we did the two previous EPs that have come out, and then wrote the album as a whole. And now next week, kind of that all comes to a head really, and that plan
Mm.
and kind of what we set for ourselves. And I think at that point, in 22, with what we've done in the past year and how well the campaign's going, I don't think I don't think we kind of expected it, and we're so grateful for all the people that are getting behind it, and who will be getting behind it in future. People who come in new to the party, as this album comes out next week. So yeah, it's been what feels like a lifetime for us. But writing and recording the album really started probably last year, and that running towards this. So.
What specifically started to drop off in 2022 then? What did you notice and start to get a bit worried about?
I think just like, I mean, the music industry as a whole kind of went weird
Yeah.
because
Okay.
nobody was at gigs for
Yeah.
like 2 years, and by the time we came out, we had we made our real start and our real launch from um off the back of when we released Element, and we were only kids then. Do you know what I mean? Well, we were in no way ready to step onto you know any kind of renowned stage. But honestly, we were just messing around and doing it because it was fun. Do you know what I mean? We weren't really thinking about too far ahead in the future. Um, so then, kind of when COVID happened and that, like I know it's a fucking long time ago now. I don't really like speaking about it because
Yeah, fair enough.
it's like like that period of time is so long ago. And like I don't feel like anybody wants.
Yeah, yeah, fair
But
enough.
like, yeah, coming through that, and we had to break for a couple of years, and then
Yeah,
come
sure.
out of it. By the time that all finished, like the music industry in the world was such a different place, and being independent, like we hadn't really laid any groundwork to deal with that. We were kind of just breezing day to day. So when we went out to do our first tour after that, like just it felt like it did feel like a different world, and we had to say like, right, we've got to think about what we want, where we want to get to, and what we
Yeah.
want the band to be, and basically just pick ourselves up again.
Yeah. No, a nice one. Good work. Good work, mate, by the way, as well. And, like moving closer to today, then forget about COVID. I've seen a lot of build up for the album. And there's a lot on the socials at the minute. I know you've been around the radio stations. That looked like it was a bit of fun. Watched
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Talk Sport the other day and all, mate. Nice.
yeah, man. Yeah, well, mate, I've been listening to Talk Sport since I can remember, and so that was like that was a good little day that was. And then obviously we've had some great support from John Kennedy and Radio X as well. And we got to go and do a live session there. So yeah, all these people, back in the album. It's great to see, and we've got Mike in this feeling to thank for their support in making stuff like that happen.
Yeah. So do you get like an instant boost on things when you do these national radio stations? How does it like? How do you measure those type of things after you've been on them?
I don't really think there is a measure, to be honest.
No.
Do you know? I think the main part of it is just getting your name out there. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And becoming something recognisable. But people always like to see people doing things that they enjoy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely good in that regard. But I guess the only real measure is just like a little bit of a boost in ego, being able to walk around talk sport, talk
Yeah.
studios for a day, and then you straight back down to earth. Then
Yeah. Any funny stories from around there? Any famous people that you're speaking to? Any funny stories behind the scenes or anything from it?
not to be fair, not really. I think we had a big day that day. It was obviously this time last week. So we did talk sport in the afternoon, and then we went and did a little like a little acoustic show at the Marcus in London in Covent Garden, as part of Teenage Cancer Trust, and we had the Radio X interview at like I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. But
Yeah.
if you leave four lads, you know, with an 8 hour window in London
Trying not to drink.
on a Friday night in one of London's most famous pubs. Like, yeah, it was difficult to restrain, and a couple of us didn't quite manage that as well as well as others.
Yeah.
But
Did
yeah,
you? Did you?
I did because I,
Good
I,
lad.
I actually I purposefully drove
Mm.
drove down because whenever we go to London and we always get distracted.
Yes. I hear you.
So I kind of made the decision to drive and save myself from that.
That's very can't speak today. That's very professional of you, Pierce. Well done, mate.
Well, when I say that, I was
Here we go.
I was kind of forced into driving really. So
Okay.
yeah, I can't really take moral high ground too much on that.
Fair enough. And I saw you with a picture of Serge as well. What were going on there?
Oh yeah, man. We went down. We were invited down to watch his or to go to his art exhibition for his little side project. Some of the art that he does, which is really wicked, by the way. He's a talented geezer, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, Kasabian, one of our biggest influences, and one of the reasons that this band, exists. So to me, he came over and spoke to us actually, because he's a really good guy, which is always quite a not a worry, but when you meet people that you revere, you kind of don't really know if their personality is going to be as you'd imagined in your head. But yeah, he must have spoke to us for like 10 minutes, and he was spot on. We gave him a copy of the album that he took home. Don't know whether he's listened to it. Well, I guess that remains to be seen. It could be in the bin at his house. Like he might have absolutely hated it.
It
He might
was.
have absolutely hated it, but nah. But he honestly does not seem like that type of guy at all. He was proper spot on, and it's good to you know from a band who grew up listening to his tunes, uh, and going to watch his band. So having a little having a little moment where he was holding our debut record was yeah, it was a nice touch for us.
Nice touch. Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And I saw that you did a house party as well at Nima and Mark's house. So I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
I know Nima off Twitter and Mark. They're always at gigs, aren't they? They must every night. I saw her in Bidlington this year, and I think I ask her every time because I've always had a few beers at that bloody gig. I'm always enjoying myself. It's class. But I did, it's like, how do you have the strength and the money and the energy to go to a gig every night? Those two, just a special shout out for those two for how much they support bands, and they had you on at their house as well, didn't they?
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they are just mega, and I don't know how they do it or afford it. They must have the best jobs in the world.
I know, yeah, that's what I said. Like,
But they come round and they're literally at pretty much every important gig
yeah,
we ever do. So they asked us to come and do this house party gig for
yeah,
as part of the album campaign, and make it into like a little special night for
yeah.
our biggest fans who invest so much into us. So it was kind of a no brainer really, because we wouldn't be here without all of those people. So yeah, it was just a good night, man. We played some new tunes off the album, some old ones. Everybody had a piss up, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, look, last year Tom A. Smith were playing, my mate Johnny Blade, who I've got playing at my gig in Manchester on Friday. Just a class lineup, and it looked ace. It were all over the internet. I just thought, oh Christ, I hope her house is all right after all that.
Yeah, no, I think the house survived. I think the house
Okay.
survived. But yeah, it was a fun night, man. It was a fun night.
Nice one. So the album's out as we're speaking right now. We're speaking on the Friday just before it releases. So what things have you still got on your list to tick off then before release day? What's the next few days look like for you as we build to it?
It's probably just going to be pure chaos, man.
Okay.
We're playing a special gig in Birmingham at the Hare and Hounds.
Oh no.
We're going to be playing the album through front to back for the first time, so that'll be a bit of a moment. Again, like just a little night for the people who've invested in us the most. A little exclusive gig to them, and then we start on the in-stores next week at
Yeah.
the Veranda in Liverpool on Tuesday, and then everything just builds up to next Friday. Really, we're yeah, we'll have had between now and then the final variant coming out on Blood Records on Monday, which is a good little spin on the vinyl, and yeah, it's just all roads lead to Friday. And obviously it'll be out by the time, but it'll be out by the time everyone listens to this. So if somebody's had a heart attack between now and then, it wouldn't shock me.
You won't be shocked.
Yeah.
So it must be nice just to wake up and think, I've got a right fucking fun day ahead of me. Busy, stressful maybe, but it just must be a great feeling around that. How are the other lads? Tell us about how are they getting on with it all? Anybody really feeling the stress, or is it just excitement?
Well, Liam's just had to go and buy like I think he's about a week away from buying a load of Just for Men because his hair's just going grey.
Can I borrow some?
Yeah, we've got a little joke between us actually that every Monday seems to just get a little bit worse. Like there's sort of some fucking shit that comes up every Monday. Like that, obviously we're doing this album like by ourselves, completely independently with no label, but like it's tough. It's tougher than like it sounds to bring everything to life,
Yeah.
and make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, and because if something goes wrong, it's on you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's mega stressful, but once we pass Friday, that's when it's party time, man. And and yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it.
And all the business, just registering that every format that you sell in is going to be chart, is going to be registered for the charts. What's that process like if you're doing it yourself?
How long have you got? It's yeah, we rely heavily kind of on. I'll give a special shout out to obviously our manager Dermot, who's like a close friend of ours, has been with us for
Yeah.
since we were kids, and our photographer Luke Jones,
Yeah.
who has pretty much helped steer this whole campaign on that technical side of making it sure everything's chart eligible and stuff. Because like honestly, without him, like the album probably wouldn't have happened. So I'll say that now, and then when we find out next Friday that nothing's eligible, and, and it's we haven't charted at all and sold all the records for absolutely nothing, then it will be there'll be I'll be saying different things.
I've known Luke through the years. He's a nice lad, and he used to play in the assist for a bit.
Yeah, he did, man. He did. He used to play with the assist. He still does a couple of bits and bobs with them on their content.
Yeah,
But
I shared a quick hello with him. I saw him at Wednesday ground over tram lines and that.
yeah, he's like he's probably one of the best people I know, man. So if anybody's out there, looking for a photographer who's worth their weight in gold, then that's he's your man.
Big shout out to Luke. Does great work. Right. Okay. So the album then. So we've got. So I don't know if people are aware how these things work. So we asked for like a link to the album so we can review it to get it ready for release day next week on RGM. And when the PR people, when Katie from your PR people sent it over to us, you only get like a certain amount of like listens to it. It's to stop people basically spoiling the album and bringing it out, or sharing it illegally and all that kind of stuff. I have not had a chance to listen to it yet because Matt, who reviewed the album, just fucking loved it and caned it and went through all the plays that you can get. And his review's coming out next week, and he was telling me about it. He sent me the link, and then I was just like, oh, I can't play it because it's all run out. So I'm looking forward to my vinyl coming to get a good listen to it. But he was telling me these moments of like Motorhead on there, the Duran Duran. He was telling me there was so many different angles of the album that he found really special, and he's gonna be shouting about it because he fucking loved it, mate. And I'm excited to read it and then sharing it with RGM shortly. But he's in awe of it, to be honest with you, mate. He couldn't say enough good things about it when he was just telling me about it yesterday.
Oh, that's. I mean, I appreciate that so much. Like, it took a lot of work to get the album over the line and write the songs. Every song is like a little piece of ourselves, and yeah. So if to hear praise like that, yeah, it's fucking wicked, man. I seen a story put up because I follow him on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I knew that Katie had sent it out like the day before or something. He put a story up saying that he just heard like a brilliant debut album, and gave us loads of nice compliments about it, kind of
Right, nice.
in ambiguity because he didn't name us, but we were
Okay.
we were sat there, and I was like, is that us? Like what? Like maybe it's us because I know that Katie sent it. Like, is it us? It's a bit awkward if he wasn't talking about us.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's yeah, he's a good guy, man. I look forward to hearing that review. So
Yeah, man. So Motorhead and Duran Duran. I've not heard the album yet. Does that sound like there's influences there from you?
no,
No, okay, fair enough.
no, he's yeah, Motorhead is a crazy one.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the beauty of music. It everybody interprets it in a different way, and like I mean, Duran Duran, I would I get a little bit more, the Birmingham thing, and there is a couple of tinges on. We've had that a couple of times from people.
Okay.
I personally like, I like Duran Duran, but I would never have kind of pinned them as something that I would be influenced in songwriting about. But you know, I'm a big '80s fan, and I went through that whole new romantic phase when I was you know coming of age and finding records like you know the Human League, and then into stuff like Blondie and that,
Yeah.
uh, which kind of shaped my teenage years a little bit. So maybe it's just you know bled into it somehow from that era. So yeah, but you know, you can you know make your mind up when you listen to
I'm
it.
gonna. I can't wait. I can't
Maybe,
wait for it.
maybe I am a subconscious motorhead.
I'm looking forward to what he means by that. It's interesting, isn't it? How people hear different things and different music. It's fascinating.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I'll have to speak see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So, you know, the album's coming out. You only ever get one debut album, don't you? And then once you've got an album out, you kind of you're a proper band, then, aren't you? You can't use the excuse of being a new band anymore, really, when you've had an album out. I don't think.
Yeah, man.
Do you
Yeah.
put a lot of pressure on yourself for this to go as high as possible? You know, what what's the vibe between the lads around? You know, I want a number one, obviously, but you know, what are you aiming for? What would be good for you, lads?
Do you know the kind of charting thing? Obviously, you know, it's great. You know, if you get yourself high up the charts and
Mm.
you know, to as high as possible, like anybody would be lying if they said they
Yeah,
didn't want a number one record. Everybody wants a number one record, but like that, the whole numbers game of it kind of it's a you know it holds weight. We want it to be successful in that regard, but it kind of you know not that it means nothing, but it's not you know it's a secondary thought for us. Do you know what I mean? That's an added bonus for whatever is to come after this album is out. Do you know what I mean? So you know we're gonna push it for a chart run, obviously, but that's more for the point that because we're doing this record, you know, completely on our own with no help on that. Like we want to, you know, as almost like a little bit of a, you know, a fuck you to the industry and like,
mm.
you know, bands can do this on their own. Like we want to get it as high as possible for that regard, you know, uh, as kind of our competitive edge over, uh, you know, because of the fact we're doing it all on our own. So that kind of, you know, would be nice to have, and we'll see if it does that. But you know, even if just to put our name in the top 40 in the chart respect,
Yeah.
you know, if you'd have said that to four 16-year-old spotty kids coming
Yeah.
out of school, you know, we'd have said like, what are you drinking? So it's great, but in terms of like pressure, you know, we've whatever will be. Now, you know, the album's out. Like we've made a record that, you know, wouldn't change anything about it if you gave me the chance. And we're all so happy with it. It's exactly what we wanted from our debut album. Every note, every word, like the whole campaign has been everything that we wanted. So, you know, whatever will be with it. And obviously, you know, we want to be like, you know, I won't lie, like one of the biggest bands about. Like that's the aim. Like I always think, you know, if you don't want to, you know, be that, like, what are you doing the job for? Like everybody wants to get to the top, or you know, achieve as much as they can and do big things. So that's the kind of internalized pressure on us. But you know, um, we can't have done any more than we have. Like, and
Yeah.
as I said, we've made a record that we're 100% happy and proud of. So,
Mm.
you know, if it converts, it converts. But we're lucky enough to have a fan base that you know care about us and champion us and the music in it. So we'll see what happens next Friday. See
Well,
where the wind takes us.
well, I've spoken to the K's, I've spoken to the Lottery winners when they were at similar stages to you guys. They've had number one albums. It's possible, isn't it? The ratings from my neck of the woods, no label. It can happen.
Yeah, man, it can happen. Like so, you know, that might be you know written in the stars for us one day.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But you know, as I said, like the numbers game, you know, is secondary to us. What really matters to us is you know having boots on the ground and getting our music in people's ears and you know, playing that music in front of people at gigs, and you know, doing the biggest shows that possible that we can, and growing in that regard. And you know, if you look after that and keep writing songs and trying to make them as good as you can, like the rest will follow if it's meant to be in it. So
Mate, I know you've got a lot on. I know you've got this gig tonight. Good luck with everything. Good luck for the release next week. We'll be sharing everything possible and pointing everybody towards that download link to get that new album. The review is going to be coming out soon. Is there anything you want to share with the people that are hovering over the link before they buy the album now and they've not quite pressed it yet? Anything you want to share with those people?
no, I think there's a couple of added bonuses for a couple of the variants that we've released.
Yeah.
That you know we've just put out a video. It will be on our social media page that you can go and see that. But if you want to go out and support a band, you know, taking on the world fucking by themselves and that, then you know, get behind it and we'll see where we can take this stupid little pipe dream of ours together. So that's all this band has ever been,
Yeah.
like just us four and all of you lot. So and that's all we ever want it to be. So we'll do it all together, innit?
Mate, pass on our love to the rest of the lads. Good luck tonight at the gig. Wish you all the best next week for album release, mate. As a fan, I can't fucking wait to see the reaction to it because from what I've heard, it's just fucking amazing. I'm going to stick that vinyl on, repeat. I'll be streaming it in the background, doing everything I can to support this release, mate. Just wish you all the best, Pierce. Thanks for joining us today. Cheers, pal.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man, and nice one for getting behind us always. So yeah, look forward to the reviews though.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Nice one. Have a good one.
Dick, mate.
Cheers, pal.